Hey everybody, Mark Davis joining you in the aftermath of our July 24th, 2014 show, a Thursday which was similar to some other days in which we're constantly looking at things that are problematic in America and how we can all improve them. And here in conservative land, we think in terms of less taxation, more liberty, less government, a lot of things that we've actually been doing here in Texas for about the last 20 years of delicious one-party rule. And darned if that's not the subject of something that you might have heard a little something about. Little book I've cranked out, Lone Star America. Now, let me get to something very nuts and bolts first. If you're watching this, I'm taping this on Thursday, so late Thursday, Friday, whatever. Saturday, 2 p.m., book signing. Oh yeah, you can have one of these. We can share the love. Take a picture. I'll sign it for you. It'll be great. That is at the Barnes & Noble at Lincoln Park. Where's Lincoln Park? I had to ask. It's the portion of Northwest Highway right by North Park. It's just across Northwest Highway from North Park, 7700 West Northwest Highway, the very confusing but easy to find address. So, Barnes & Noble, Lincoln Park, Dallas, book signing, you, me, it'll be magical, 2 o'clock on Saturday, okay? Now, in our remaining time, let's see if my subtitle is true. Lone Star America, How Texas Can Save Our Country. I've done a lot of interviews, and a lot of people say, boy, Mark, that's a very Texas attitude to take. The very suggestion that Texas can save our country. Well, I'm not suggesting that our state or people from our state are going to run out and, rodeo up and round up all kinds of other people in other states and force certain changes on them. All I'm asking is that other states and the country at large emulate us. There's no accident here. It's not by happenstance that Texas is doing so well and that we're doing well in the age of Obama. Texas is not just surviving, but thriving. And it's not just thriving in any ordinary time of history. It's thriving during the most noxious and suffocating presidency of our lives. That is not by happenstance. That is not by accident. So in the pages of Lone Star America, I've got some economic points, some historic points, and I also want to share just a couple of other things that I've got that make it what I hope is not just another history book, economics book, even politics book. There are things that you and I have shared in our years on the radio together. So I guess the couple of examples I've given the most are just stories that I tell. I wanted to impart in these pages how here in Texas we support our troops, but not just support the troops, meaning we want them to come home in one piece. A lot of people say, I'll support the troops, but I don't support the mission. That's impossible. We support the troops and what they do. And I talk about emceeing the deployment ceremony for some Air National Guard guys based out of Grand Prairie, the 2nd of the 149th General Support Aviation Battalion a few years back. And I emceed their deployment ceremony. It was incredible. These guys and gals were standing around. It's the last time their families would see them for a year or ever, because 7 of those guys went down in a helicopter crash just a couple of months later. So I had the chance to emcee the return ceremony, a time of reunion, a time of joy, a time of triumph, a time of tears of happiness and hugs and reunions, except for 7 families. And I met those families, and I tell you what that was like. I also tell you what it's like to be at Ted Nugent's 50th birthday party at Rio Bonito between Kerrville and Junction. You're just going to have to read the book. So I hope you will, and I appreciate it. Amazon, real bookstores, whatever. The book tour thing is a nutty world. I'm sharing a little bit with that with you about that on Twitter and on the show. And speaking of the show, come hang out with us. Appreciate it a lot. We always love you. It's 7 to 10 Central Time locally, and then Friday we do the big national shindig, Bill Bennett's Morning in America from 5 to 8, and then 8 to 10 locally with whatever is left over that we need to do before we all get into the weekend all fat and happy and entertained and well-informed, I hope. So thank you. Appreciate you buying the book. Do it. Let me know what you think about it, because I'm easy to find. And thank you for listening and watching here on 660amtheanswer.com.